Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sapira Chirk, and I would like to call the Arts Commission meeting to order at 4 p.m. Thursday, August 28th. Clerk, could I get a roll call?
Chair Chirk,
Present.
Vice Chair Bednarczyk,
Present.
Second Vice Chair Roberts,
In an way. Thank you.
Present.
Commissioner Clevin,
Here.
Commissioner Westfield, excused, Commissioner Douglas, excused, Commissioner DeSantis, Commissioner Chi,
Here.
Commissioner Beals, excused, Commissioner Portnoy,
Here.
Commissioner Von Bastions.
Present.
Thank you, Chair. You have a quorum.
Moving on to agenda item number 2, are we compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes, Chair, we are.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed may be limited. Are there any public comments?
Then I have to state my name? Okay. All right, my name is Ryan Ariola, RyanArrariola. And then my time, is it a minute?
The time you may speak may be limited.
Okay. I won't take up your time. Good evening. I just think that there's a better way to fund art, especially as an artist. If you really care about what you're doing, you'll do it for free, especially in times like this where money is very fragile on how we spend it, because there's a lot of other great places where it could be used. And I'll leave my comment at that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there other public comments? If there are none, we're going to move on to agenda number 4 for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meeting of May 15, 2025.
This is Commissioner Chi. A motion to approve.
Commissioner DeSantis, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 5, abeyance item, presentation by Sally Dobler of the Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life regarding Mayor's Fund initiatives for all wards.
Good morning, Commission, and thank you for allowing me to be here. Sally Dobler, for the record, CEO for the Mayor's Fund for Las Vegas Life. I am honored to be able to appear. So nice to see some old friends and also make some new acquaintances. So there is, number one, apologies also. This was prepared before we moved the meeting. So if you'll note a couple of changes as we go through here. There is nothing simple about the Mayor's Fund, so I'm going to talk fairly quickly. Stop me if I'm going too fast. I want to be able to, allow time for questions as well. But the Mayor's Fund is basically a private-public partnership architect. We were brought to Las Vegas in 2017 by Mayor Carolyn Goodman. She came back from a conference of mayors, and she had found a vehicle for a lot of the municipalities to be able to help fund some of the initiatives within the city. And so the mission really was to allow the private sector to be able to contribute to those initiatives that would benefit the lives of the residents of the city of Las Vegas. In 2023, when I came on board, we started our fiscal year as a 501c3, so we're now an independent nonprofit, but our mission remains the same, and that's to really help improve the residents' lives within our city. And this is kind of how we operate, because we're a little complicated. So we work with the funding sources, which are the donors. And in most cases, we're working with grants that come from private philanthropists, the individual donors, corporate. We get the funds specifically for the purpose that the donor intends. We then grant it to the city, and typically the city will also have some ownership. So we're typically matching funds or doing additional funds to help fill gaps within the funding. The city then also has to provide accountability and the impact that's being created by that donation back to us, so that we're then able to give that back to the donor, so they understand the fulfillment of what we've been able to do with their donation. We are a separate group, so I always say we work with the city and not for the city. So I report to a board of directors, and you'll see our group here, but this is the actual list, and you'll see a lot of community leaders here, folks that you know. I inherited a board, and we've also carefully added some additional people. In terms of arts, you'll see that one of the first people I added on was Heather Harmon, in terms of being able to really help represent the art community within our board. We also have an advisory committee. That was the original board that was inherited from Mayor Goodman's days. And they provide support, guidance. They advise us when we're talking about strategy. This is that list. Again, you're going to see a lot of familiar faces that really represent a lot of scopes and initiatives, so that we're really able to cover the community in terms of the initiatives that we're working with. When I first came in, there are 100 things that are necessary to help within the city and within our community. I had to narrow it down to what I thought would really have the most impact, where I thought we could make the impact, where we thought the donors would be most willing to be able to donate to it. I'm going to be modifying this list in the next 30 days, and public art will become more the arts and culture. Out of what we'll be modifying, we will keep public art and the arts as one of our areas of focus with our fundraising and our initiatives. And why are we doing public art and culture? And I don't need to tell this honored commission why art is important. But we know that it uplifts the community. We know it creates pride. We know all the economic impact. We know it's educational for those people that have not been exposed to art. This particular piece that you see here is Anna Bailey, which is on the architects of the community. And I'll be showing you just a slide that'll show you some of the murals that we've done there. But we know that it's important, and could be more important if we had more private investment in what we're trying to do within the city. We do have a specific public art fund, which means we have initiatives within the Mayor's Fund. We hold all the funds of the Mayor's Fund like a bank with our fiscal agent. We have an initiative for every department and every need. And then when the city is ready to use those funds that are almost always restricted funds, they make a request, and then we grant it to the city specifically for that purpose. So there's tremendous oversight to make sure that the funds are being used correctly. This is some of the initiatives that we've done in the past in terms of sculptures. This is Queen of the Arts, and they're the two sculptures in the historic West Side. This was actually donated by Howard Hughes Summerlin. Daniel Bisterfeld is on my board and continues to be a really strong advocate for art and also for the Mayor's Fund. The historic West Side murals, and I think this is a great example of how this can beautify a community in an area that has been largely blighted. We're excited to be doing a lot of work down there because it's probably the most interesting redevelopment area we have in the city. But you'll see the three that we've done there thus far in partnership with the city, and I think we'll be seeing more in the future too. My legacy are the Goodman statues, and this was something I did in partnership with the city of Las Vegas. It was probably the most interesting fundraising project that I've ever had, because it was primarily just going out to all the supporters and old friends of the Goodmans and said, how large would you like your letters on the plaque? But it was very successful. We were honored to be able to really be able to unveil this that day and be able to show them really just how much the community cared about their efforts. And this was unveiled in November of 2024, which is right outside the old City Hall building. This is an exhibit that I'm sure that you are all aware of, and we are really excited to be a sponsor of it, to be able to support it. And of course, we have Heather Harmon on our board. and I'm sure that you're familiar with it, but this will be the first art exhibit that will be in the Civic Center Art Gallery. Again, this is a slide that was done back at the beginning of the month, and we know that it is not on September 4th, and I'm sure that Commissioner Clevin can give you a better update in terms of the actual date, which I think is in October, something like that. But this is a collaboration between the City of Las Vegas and the Las Vegas Museum of Art, and it is being organized by the Los Angeles County Los Angeles, there's a lot of names and acronyms in this thing. Let's just call them LACMA. And we're really excited to be part of that because I think this makes a really strong statement that the city and all of us feel that art is important. And this is going to be a real exciting exhibit. This is going to be an interesting one because apparently statues may become my legacy at the Mayor's Fund. This is a project that if you're familiar with the memorial park that was at the Grant Sawyer building, there are 18 bronze statues that represent our service members from the Revolutionary War up to Afghanistan. With the Grant Sawyer building going away, this is now being moved out to Ward 4 out in Lone Mountain area. It's going to be a beautiful project. It's a $10 million project. The anticipated date of this being open is October 2026. You'll note the architect is KGA, Commissioner Roberts. I learned back in my construction days, you always make sure you give the architect credit too, so we've done that. And we will actually be officially launching this on the on Veterans Day on November 11th. And then with that, how can you help? And we hope that you want to help us. We are building our social media platforms. We actually only started doing this a little over a year ago, and we're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and then Facebook. Please follow us, share where you can, like where you can. Tell your peers, associates, and your friends about us because we're really out there trying to do good in the community and beautify the community. And of course, like any good fundraiser, what's important to us is to be able to actually receive funds and fundraise so that we are then able to grant that back to the city and we really further their efforts to be able to promote art and culture in our city. And with that, that is the speed presentation for the Mayor's Fund, and I'm happy to entertain any questions.
Sally, Commissioner Portnoy, welcome.
Thank you.
We've spoken before in the past, and one of the challenges you're up against all the time is hitting on the people that everybody is hitting on. How do you get over that hump?
You know, that is a strategy for every initiative that we go through. And I think that for all the nonprofits, and we have had this discussion, because particularly with the federal funds going away, and we don't get federal funds at the Mayor's Fund because we don't execute the program. So the city can do that as a municipality for us, and there's a lot of blessing and not having to go through that whole process with federal funds. Anybody who's done an RFP, right? But what we recognize is that means that everybody is going after the same group in here. So as nonprofits, we have to be smarter and start thinking outside of the back as to how we fundraise. Now, it might be the way we do campaigns, whether we start doing public campaigns where let's get 10,000 people doing $5 for something. Let's look at company matches, or even better yet, let's start looking at the entities that are not yet in Las Vegas, and they might have an interest in being here or will be here, and start going out to those folks and stop depending on that same group of funders that we have here in Las Vegas.
One of the things to look at, possibility, you have a lot of professional athletes living in the city that people don't know they live here. But through the parent organizations, MLB, NHL, WNBA, there is a way to approach their representatives, because part of the portfolio to let money go away is to invest in charitable organizations that beautify where they're living. So that might be something to look at.
No, and I think that's a really good suggestion. I mean, we know that John Fisher, as an example, is a huge art. And I've already started the conversations with them. For the actual organization, they'll be looking at youth sports. But for Mr. Fisher, that's a whole, so we're trying to identify those folks. And I think that really is true, is that we know that there is more wealth and more billionaires in this community than a lot of communities around. And we just have to figure out who those people are. And very often, people don't give because they've never been asked. So we have to figure that piece out and make sure we get to the right people and ask them because it's the right initiative for them.
Well, if John doesn't do it, just go right to Gap. That's where he inherited all his money. So he is coming into the city, and they're doing a lot of work. I just attended last week at the Rio, a big thing talking about the A's coming, and talked to the president of the A's, the VP of marketing. So that's a good route to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're on it for a number of initiatives, but certainly from the art standpoint too.
Any other questions? Thank you so much.
This is the
Thank
easiest
you.
I've gone off on in a long time. So thank you. So nice to see some friendly face, and so nice to meet the rest of you. And we greatly appreciate the opportunity. And again, please feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out to me, and anything that we can do to support what you're doing, and vice versa. We're here to help the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Sapira. Moving on to agenda item number 6, discussion for possible action regarding the relocation of funding assigned to the Medical District Public Art Project Wellness Way Gateway, $100,000 of the Percent for the Arts Fund for Ward 1.
This is Holly Lay for the record. This is the project that was at the Wellness Way and MLK intersection where we now have signs. And so we'd like to put that money back into our Percent for Arts Fund pot.
So just clarification, it's because the project's not proceeding as considered. This is just a clerical item.
Yes, yeah, to vote for that being, that project being canceled.
So this is Commissioner Roberts. I would move that we move the funds back into the Percent for the Arts.
Commissioner Chee, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item number 7, discussion for possible action regarding the increased funding for Medical District Public Art Project, Rancho Gateway Public Art, The Healer by Luis Varela Rico for Ward 1.
Holly Lay for the record. This is the Healer project that we have been discussing for a while now. We've had a lot of changes in the medical district, and this project was initially discussed 2 years ago with that budget. So we'd like to increase for tariff increases, but also our location change. He's going to be doing some new landscaping. So we asked for a new quote from him, and that would be the where we're getting that amount to add to that project.
This is Commissioner Clevin. Excuse me. I think I just want to also point out, like with item 6, that money going back into the arts fund, this amount is going to be covered. So just additional information for everyone.
So this is Commissioner Roberts. I'd also move that we approve the increased funding for the art project at Rancho Gateway Public Art, The Healer by Luis Varela Rico.
This is Commissioner Douglas. I second that. And also, could I get my screen on in case there's any other presentations or something? I can't get the screen on. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, there's a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to agenda item number 8, discussion for possible action regarding the relocation of funding assigned to Hualapai Canyon Trailhead Environmental Art Project for Ward 2.
This is Laura Machado. We actually moved to strike this item from the agenda.
Thank you. This is Sapira. Item is stricken. Okay. Do we have to? We don't have to vote for that.
Yes, may we please have a motion?
Okay.
This is Commissioner Clevin. I'll move to strike item 8.
Commissioner DeSantis, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 9, report by Cultural Affairs staff regarding current financial updates to the percent for the art funds.
This is Commissioner Clevin. So I'm going to give you guys the number that we will have deposited into our account for fiscal year 2026. So we've been allocated $395,306.39. So that was the transfer that we received into the Percent for Arts Fund. Our original balance was $3,735,000. Sorry, let me start over. $3,735,600. I'm gonna give you guys the number. It's 3,735,665.90. We had a lot of money to start. We added the transfer in. We expensed last fiscal year $992,683.87. So we're moving projects forward. So our fund balance currently is a little bit over $3 million. But we also already have projects that are on the books, and those total $2,430,907.49. That leaves us with a balance in this fiscal year of $707,380.93. So we have a good amount of money to use for this fiscal year. Thank you.
This is Commissioner Chi, so question. What is it that you would use the surplus for, or does that city get it back?
So there wouldn't be a surplus. The money would stay in the Percent for the Arts Fund. So I guess I wouldn't say the city is not getting it back. Percent for the Arts will always, when we reallocate something, goes back into Percent for the Arts, so then we can pick new projects and then reallocate the funds to those projects. So it's never gonna go necessarily back to the city, like the general fund. It'll always stay in this restricted fund.
This is Sapira, and then with that amount, we're gonna look at the projects that we're planning on doing at the end of this meeting. Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? Great, moving on to agenda item number 10, report by Cultural Affairs staff regarding current Percent for the Arts projects for all wards.
This is Mary Sabo for the record. So you were all issued a copy of the staff report document, which includes written updates to the current Percent for the Arts active funded projects. And we're going to go through a presentation highlighting those projects and some additional activities and initiatives.
For the 3rd Street East Ogden Avenue to Fremont Street Public Art Project, it's moving along. The contract was actually just executed today, so congratulations. David Ryan was selected. At our next Arts Commission meeting, I'll share with you more information and an image of the artwork.
This is Parker Arecki for the record. This is for the AMP Gateway and Arts District Public Art Project. The project evaluation panel has selected 10 artists to move forward with to complete the project. Requests for proposals were issued earlier this month, and they are due by mid-October. Once approved by the evaluation panel, they will be presented to the Arts Commission, most likely at the November meeting. Parker Arecki, AMP Ward 4, the Cheyenne Ave Public Art Project. The project evaluation panel has selected 5 artists with whom they'd like to complete the project. Requests for proposals were issued earlier this month and are due by October 6th, hoping to have them presented to the Arts Commission at the October meeting, if not at the November meeting.
Mary Sabo for the record. For the Boulder Plaza sculpture project titled The Seed by artist team CR2. The project has moved from its original location, you may remember, being the Casino Center Pocket Park, when that location was no longer viable. we changed it to the Boulder Plaza. The project team has completed their second milestone, so the sculpture's engineering documents are in review with Building and Safety, and their contract amendment to update the location and the timeline is complete, and the estimated completion date is now June 1st, 2026.
Parker Recchi for the record. Centennial Hills Park Environmental Tile Mural Project, the request for qualifications was issued on June 30th and closes on September 25th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, after which the evaluation panel will meet to select 3 artists or 3 teams of artists to submit a proposal for the project.
Laura Machado. Cliff Garden Studio has reached their 4th project milestone. The sculpture is now 50% complete. You can see a picture here of Cliff in the foundry with the sculpture. It's set to install in May 2026. We also have a sculpture project that's happening. If you came in through the front doors, you saw cinder blocks underway. So this is Crystal Ramirez, The Night We Met. It is set to be completed by September 15th. Also, if you noticed in the building all of the beautiful artwork, we're so excited to share with you. We have completed most of this project, so we have beautiful work by Fawn Douglas, Jig Depio, and Valentine Yordanoff, and then we will install Sebastian Corti's piece hopefully by the end of September. Also, if you are in the area and can stop by Meet the Artist on September 19th, we're going to have a panel of 15 artists talking about the artwork in the building, and we really encourage you to stop by.
This is Mary Sabo. We are also working continuously on conservation and maintenance projects, assessing the condition of the collection, and we always encourage members of the public to report any concerns related to conservation, maintenance, or graffiti by contacting us at our public art email address.
Laura Machado. We are underway with the restoration of the Paintbrush Gateway by Dennis Oppenheim. They are hopefully going to be completed restoring both of the paintbrushes by the middle of September. If you drive by, you'll see that they are testing the lighting. Everything looks to be going smoothly, and we'll have those up and running by the end of September.
Mary Sabo. We're working on the Hears Park tile mural project. Staff and stakeholders have identified a location for a tile mural project at the park on the restroom structure that you see here, and we plan to issue a request for proposal to a directly selected artist.
Holly Lay for the record. We are currently finalizing the second part of the contract with artist Justin Favela to bring a permanent sculpture to the east side of Las Vegas, and hopefully we'll have that contract completed soon and tentatively having the piece installed by the end of the year. We also just agreed to give Luis Varela-Rico some more funding for his project to help with the increases in cost materials, so we will likely be contracting with him as well in the next couple of weeks and finally get it going. And we have Star Child by Mark Bramvik. That is being installed in just a couple weeks. The unveiling event is on Thursday, September 18th, 10 to 11 a.m. Please come join us for a little celebration, and we'll have some refreshments as well. And we also have artist Wayne Littlejohn working on Brainstorm. He's currently in fabrication, and this is slated to be installed by the end of the year as well.
Mary Sabo for the record. We are working on the Mirabelli Community Center mural project. The contract has been awarded to artist Matthew Murphy for the mural titled Finding Your Wings. Matthew held a community workshop event on July 30th where he worked with some of the children that attend the Mirabelli summer camp program to do some projects based on his mural design. And this mural project is expected to be complete by December 1st of this year. He'll be getting started as soon as the weather cools off. We have also completed the Westside Education and Training Center sculpture project. Adolfo Gonzalez completed this beautiful sculpture titled Striving Populace, and we had a unveiling ceremony on August 27th. And Adolfo is 1/3 of the way done on the Westside Education and Training Center mural project. There were some delays due to the ongoing construction and then also temperature concerns. So again, when the weather cools off, he'll be wrapping this project up before the winter. And that concludes our report. Do any commissioners have questions about any of these projects we discussed?
Okay, seeing none, this is Sapira. We'll move on to agenda item number 11. Discussion for possible action regarding new projects to be reviewed by the Art Commission for approval for all wards.
Thank you. Okay. Mary Sabo for the record. So with the allocation of our FY26 % for the arts funding, we've identified a few new public art projects for commissioners' review and approval. So you all have this sheet in your binders. This is a list of the projects that we've identified and that we're going to talk to you about with the budget allocations and then the grand total there at the bottom. So we'll go through these. So our first proposed project is the Stupak Community Center mural project. With new stakeholders and developments expanding the Gateway District in downtown Las Vegas near the Stratosphere, staff has identified Stupak Community Center as a site for a mural project. The project goal is to commission a site-responsive mural that will provide a thoughtful and visually interesting public art piece in the Gateway District, and hopefully that will enhance the daily experience of Stupak staff, patrons, and the surrounding neighborhood. And we've identified a budget of $77,500 for this project.
Laura Machado. We are proposing the commissioning of a large-scale mural on the west-facing wall of the new Arts District parking garage. In partnership with the Economic and Urban Development, this highly visible artwork will enhance the neighborhood's identity and show the city's commitment to public art. The total budget is $60,000, and this covers all artist fees, materials, and installation. The mural aims to create a striking visual landmark and contribute to the Arts District ongoing growth. With your approval, we'll move forward with the selection of an artist for this project.
Parker Arecki for the record. This project will commission an artist to create a permanent mural along new and existing exterior walls of the Cimarron Rose Community Center. The project goals are to commission a site-specific mural that enriches the visual landscape of the area, enhancing the daily lives of staff, patrons, and the surrounding neighborhood. Also to provide additional arts programming for the community center in conjunction with the mural. The proposed budget is $15,500, with $15,000 being allocated to artistic services and $500 to the design honoraria.
Holly Lay for the record. We've also identified a mural at the Doolittle Pool. This mural would be a very large-scale mural on one of the walls facing the pool, and this budget is $70,000 total, $2,000 for the design honorariums, and the goal is to celebrate the spirit of recreation and community pride and create a visually engaging backdrop to reflect the character of the neighborhood and foster a more inviting environment.
Parker Arecki for the record. Pop Squires Park mural project. This project will commission an artist to create a permanent mural on the concessions bathroom building at the park. It is created to expand the art collection in Ward 6 and highlight the beloved city park. The proposed budget is $15,500. And The project goals are in hopes that this mural will aim to enhance the visual landscape of the park and further invite the community to engage with public art through additional arts programming.
Laura Machado. Based off of the success of the Civic Center interior artwork project, we're proposing to allocate $91,500 to acquire original artworks for the City of Las Vegas Permanent Art Collection. These works will be placed in city-owned buildings, offices, and public areas to enrich civic spaces and to make art more accessible to the community. The project aims to support local artists, foster community pride, and help create a lasting, diverse public art legacy for the City of Las Vegas.
Holly Lay for the record. We also would like to propose the public art map project. This actually goes with a couple of our recommendations from the public art master plan, which is one, to provide opportunity for different kinds of artists, which this would be particularly designed or aimed at graphic designers and or design teams. And we also, we need some public tour materials, public art tour materials to share with the community. And this allocation would be for $20,000 for max, depending on what is what we get from the different designers that would apply. They would give us their budgets.
Mary Sabo for the record. Each year, our team proposes a budget for conservation and maintenance projects. And for FY26, we recommend allocating $80,000. This is the same amount as the previous year. And this allocation will be used for ongoing collection, care, and maintenance of the city's public art collection. Staff have already identified several large maintenance and restoration projects for the upcoming year, and we're working to source quotes from qualified vendors. And we are also proposing $20,000 for general project contingency. Even the most successful artwork commissions can face unplanned cost overages, and we would like to set aside this contingency fund to address unplanned expenses. So that concludes our list of proposed projects. And then here's this overview again. Do any commissioners have any questions, comments, or concerns about any of these proposed items?
This is Commissioner Cheese. So the $450,000, is that taking from that surplus of 707 that we were talking about before? Thank you.
This is Commissioner Roberts. I just want to say I'm familiar with so many of these locations and so excited for this artwork in each spot. And I really think this is a great way to utilize the funds that were identified from this year. And I'm excited to see even the map, so needed. And so some great projects here.
This is Sapira. I have several questions. For the Art District Garage Mural Project, it was mentioned that you will be partnering with the Economic and Urban Development team. I'm just curious, but the funding for the project is coming from the percent for the arts and not from economics and urban development, right?
This is Laura Machado. So the parking garage is funded through EUD, Economic and Urban Development, but their funding structure does not allow them to use those funds for artwork. So they reached out to us, included us in the meetings to develop the building, and they just recently broke ground. But in order to make sure that there's public art from the local community, that's where the percent for the arts funds would come in to use our funding, which is strictly tied to public infrastructure, in order to support that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I just have two more questions. For the artwork purchase that was mentioned, what is the timeline for that?
Ideally, it would be great to use that within the fiscal year. And it just depends on if we have So each one of these projects can take up to a year. So the sooner we get these all approved, the sooner we can get the initiative rolling. But since this new beautiful building opened up and we have all this amazing artwork, everyone is reaching out to us about putting new artwork in their spaces. And it would be a really wonderful opportunity to put out a call and have artists submit artwork for potential purchase. And we could use, once we do get rolling, all of your support in sharing that call, because we want to make sure that we're getting representation from the whole community. So hopefully within the year, to answer your question in a long way.
Thank you. That's very exciting. I'm very excited. And then last question for the public art map project. The example was the Clark County map, and it looks amazing. It looks great. But I was thinking about when this is used, is it primarily for our tours within the city, and it will be just our collection? Because it's just, I don't know if y'all read the article in Art in America about like highlighting art in Las Vegas, but when we have like different maps from different entity, it felt kind of fractured. And like, you know, when we talk to artists, they're not sure that there's the city program, the county program, City of Henderson program, the state program. So that was just a thought, and just, I guess I just would like a little bit of clarification on what the intent is.
Sure, this is Holly Lay for the record. I used that example from Clark County. I thought it was great because it's an artist in the community that was able to do that design work based on just a project. So that was just centered the project, sculptures for that project. Ideally, we would like to invite the designers to kind of come up with a way to best represent our collection. It's a task that we've had a really hard time putting together ourselves, so it'd be great to have this opportunity for an artist in the community to either break it up in different kinds of maps. Maybe it's something with particular sculptures, different murals, separate maps, and other just different kinds of graphics that we can use in our promotion of our collection, just the permanent collection. Hope that answered.
Yes, thank you so much. Are there any other questions?
This is Commissioner Portner. I have one question on that Ermid development, the side of the building. Are they participating money-wise with any aspect of it where they could say we're using it for the red color on the side of the building, metal? I mean, there's got to be a way that they would contribute somewhat funds toward the artistic rendering, which would be on the facade.
You know, I think that that's a good point. But I also think that the Percent for the Arts Fund is here to beautify City of Las Vegas, assets, infrastructure.
I agree.
So we're using these funds exactly how we should. And EUD, and I don't know if they're getting all of the funds through their special revenue account, I'm not quite sure. But they are building the entire structure. And so we're coming in with just a small fraction.
Partnering in a small degree,
Yeah.
but beneficial to all parties involved.
Exactly. And
Okay.
we want to make sure that it's relevant to the arts district. And that's a way that we can do that.
This is Commissioner Clevin. I think they're also priming it. It'll be painted white, so the mural will be very vibrant on it. One last question from Commissioner Clevin. The public art contingency for fiscal year '25, was any of it expended?
Yes, we are using it for the AMP project in Ward 3.
Great, thank you.
If there are no more questions, are there a motion to approve all the new projects that was just reviewed?
This is Commissioner Clevin. I'll move to approve the new projects for fiscal year '26.
This is Commissioner
I
Douglas.
second that motion, Commissioner. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry about
Douglas,
that.
Commissioner.
Before we go to vote, though, I just have a question. Is this just the only projects? There'll be other projects that can be, put forward. This isn't just like the final, for 2026. Is that correct? I just want to know before I vote.
These are all the projects that we are proposing for FY26. If you would like to propose additional projects, we can take those and add it to the agenda for the next meeting.
Thank you.
I think that was a second, so all in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right, that's great. We'll move on to agenda item number 12, citizen participation. Public comments during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the commission. No subject may be acted upon by the commission unless the subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Are there any public comments? All right, seeing none, meeting is adjourned.
No,
sorry.
no. Don't adjourn yet. I had a question. I was waiting for maybe the public or somebody on the phone to make a comment. But for the future, can we have a meeting with the Las Vegas Visitors and Convention Authority to see where we can engage with each other for future projects? I know visitation is down in the city of Las Vegas. The City of Las Vegas Arts is working to beautify the city, and there's other avenues where we can bring visitation. How can we bridge that conversation and have them in the room?
This is Laura Machado. I can reach out to them and see if they're interested in speaking to the commission. I know that I've personally worked with them. They installed their very first mural with Sean Michael Evans, and I think that they are having an unveiling soon. So I can reach out to them and see if they would be interested. I think that's a great idea.
Thank you. Can you let us know when that unveiling is? Because maybe it just takes us, kind of meeting them where they're at as well.
Absolutely, will do.
This is Commissioner Chi. It's a question when, I think I was at an airport. They had a huge exhibition of artwork and stuff. So who usually handles those?
So are you talking specifically about Harry Reid Airport?
Yes.
They have their own department that handles public art installing and de-installing. I'm not sure. Most major airports have a program in place. I'm not sure how large Harry Reid's program is, but it's separate from the Convention Authority.
Got it. And while I have the speaker on, I wanted to promote an event. So this is a shameless plug for the Shameless Plug Arts Festival, which is Saturday, September 20th and 21st, which is the same as the Goodman Plaza, but they're looking for food and art vendors, live performers, filmmakers, and volunteers. One of the panelists at the Arts and Culture Day Summit on stage. This is her event, so I thought I'd just help her promote. Thanks.
Any other public comments? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.